Okay then. So let's go ahead and begin then. Welcome back everyone to Urban Jungle. I'm Griffin, your host. Our game here is one of noir, intrigue, deception, and grand theft auto, taking place in the year 1923 in a city called Trakoga, full of gangsters, magicians, and populated by animal people. Here playing some of those people are our players, ready to introduce themselves. Theta, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Dante, the original, famous sloth magician. My personality is mercurial. My motto is I always have a plan, and I have one goal, but it is a secret. It is very mysterious.
Very mysterious. Hugo.
Hello, I am Zamek. I am a cat person. I am Dante's assistant. And my motto is the sun will come out tomorrow. And I
Excellent.
guess one of my goals is why do I have such a rash of bad luck?
All right. Rafferty.
Yes, hello. I am playing Claudia Greathouse, the woman in black, a rich fox masked vigilante.
Dun dun dun.
My motto is justice tempered by mercy. And as always, my goal when I came back to this town is solve the disappearance and possible murder of my friend, William Breakstone.
And new and joining us today is EHH. Go ahead and tell us who you're playing.
I am James Green, a night deer, a debunker. My personality is skeptical, and my model is there has to be a logical explanation for this. My goal is to basically set up my career, basically.
Okay, excellent. I like it. All right. And to briefly start off, last time where we left our characters, they had followed the trail of Mr. Wonderful at the behest of Claudia, who agreed to assist them to find a missing child afterwards. Their investigation led them into a strange factory where, guarding the facility, were a number of armed henchmen, a witch of an armadillo named Jennifer Osborne, and a huge, terrifying, one-eyed creature that threatened to smash Zamek with a large piece of steel. The factory exploded, and Zamek drove away with the creature in tow. And I'll go ahead and just draw people's attention to the newspaper today. Herald Examiner. Woman in black to blame. But before that issue comes out, Zamek, just to clarify what happened to you, you're in a truck and it's not. As you're driving away, you feel the engine shake as you push down the accelerator, and in the mirror, you can see the yellow reflection of the giant's eyes. It begins to fall further and further behind, and with a few quick turns, it's nowhere to be seen or heard again in the night. You have gotten clean away, and the night will
Phew.
pass.
And I'm like, yes, another truck.
A victory nonetheless. And before we move on to the main event, Claudia, in the morning, of course, you are greeted by a visitor, your detective.
Oh, wow. Okay. In true super rich person fashion, I of course have to, greet them in that one wing of the house that has the really, really tall windows, and we have a tiny little table in the middle of nothing.
We're going to need you to walk about half a mile that direction to get to the good evening table.
Reception room. This is a reception room.
Yeah, sorry, I'm over here.
Right. He'll take the offer and he'll ask for a light and take a quick little smoke as he hands you over a reasonably worn leather journal and hands it over to you. On it is the name you are familiar with. I believe it is William Breakstone.
Finally, a lead.
Well, I went ahead and did some digging and I asked some people who might know him, associates, lawyers. Took a little bit of digging, but it turns out his lawyers had something on him. Apparently, he expected he might disappear, and so he had this arranged in his will to hand off to you should he no longer be present.
Wait, hand it off to who? Me?
Yes.
Oh,
I managed to convince them that I represented you. And that
Huh.
seemed to be good enough for them. I'm not sure I trust them with holding on to anything.
Very curious. I'll have to sit back in my chair and sit there and stroke my chin and think, what could Breakstone, what dire circumstances could he be in that would make him think that his demise was imminent? Well,
Right.
now this is a police investigator, or is this my private investigator?
A private investigator, the one you
Okay,
hired.
Well, I probably hired a whole agency, so it's probably just random people. I'll thank him.
I've got other people out on the foot, but I go out and do some work myself.
Right. Well, because there's also like investigation agencies. I haven't hired the Pinkertons or anything yet. I will
And besides,
sign.
with someone of your caliber, it behooves me to speak to you in person.
It's that in
So
service.
a quick out of character question. Does my character know where you live, Claudia?
If you guys know that I'm Claudia, because I think I have told you my name, then it's not that hard to find out where I live.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, so you have the journal, and presuming you have no further questions or work for your detective, he's happy to leave you for the morning. If you ever have any more work you need done, you have our number and business card.
I do
Here,
have
another
some more.
one.
I do have some more work that needs to be done. Now, question for the game master: when we raided the factory, I didn't actually hear the Osborne's name out loud, did I?
No, you did not.
Okay, so I'd like them to look into.
Or actually, I'm trying to remember if actually, no, you did hear Jennifer Osborne's name. That is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put down 2 other names of interest, and I'm also going to send these to the newspaper clipping service. One of them is Jennifer Osborne, so find out what you can, but don't ruffle any feathers. And the other one is a name that they kept yelling in Gamigan's name. Like, who the crummy heck is Gamigan?
What is that, German?
I don't even know how to spell it. I just want you to look into it. You guys are the private investigators.
Gain.
Yeah, that sounds Welsh to me, but these are persons of interest that I want to learn more about.
Well, I'll go ahead and put an ear out and see if anyone's talking about him.
That's why I pay you guys. I'll sign off on your invoice and retainer while you're here. Which is also probably why you showed up in person.
In fact, I'll need you to sign this check here, you see,
Yep.
and he'll discuss business with you for a short minute.
I'll sign off on this.
But he has his assignment.
Yep, sign off on this newspaper clipping service, and let them go. And then I suppose I'll have to perform my morning after losing the ogre. I thought he meant losing the orgy. That's something different.
Yeah. Hugo, if you'd allow, I'd like people to convene at the library, as it is at least a point you all know to be able to meet each other.
Yeah, you can't drive the truck to my house. I'm not zoned for commercial traffic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in the rich Chicago or Tricoga suburbs.
Yeah.
So,
nonetheless, Dante and Zamek, you two have already agreed to meet with Claudia the previous day when she agreed to assist you in your task. And let me go ahead and scroll up to where I was going to leave it up. Here we go.
Yeah, where are we putting the stolen trucks?
We'll have to cover that. Actually,
that was the part
let's
of the
handle that
main.
as a quick question. Zamek,
That was the part of the reason.
It?
That was part of the reason why I wanted to show up at Claudia's place. I figured, you're a vigilante and you know things. You
have you
a
just
bard.
been driving the night?
Yeah, I've just been wandering around the back roads in this stolen truck.
You do have the phone number for the Black Line.
Do I?
I gave out the business cards that has the Black Line phone number on it.
Okay, so then, I guess we'll segue to me going to a payphone and dropping you a line.
Then what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and, this is Tricoga. There has to be no shortage of. I have to be able to rent a warehouse somewhere, or I might. Well, I don't know if I actually own one.
You can easily enough find one. In fact, you could even find garages specifically for holding onto vehicles.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and give him a place to park it. But no, that's another thing on my agenda. I need to buy a garage, but I need to actually do that. So,
Would you like to tap wealth?
you know, I'll go ahead. I'll tap wealth. I'm buying a garage.
There you go. Just go ahead and write down you got a garage. And
All right.
we'll assume that your butler will also arrange for monthly payments to just keep it fresh.
All right. I
I was just figuring someplace we stash this for a couple of days, and like you knew somebody who could get, sell a hot truck or something. But okay.
Nope, I'm buying the garage. We'll move the stolen trucks there because eventually I'm a vigilante. I have to accumulate vast weapons. Also today, I'm going to go ahead and move the acid gun out of the trophy room because we're going to start. Well, no, actually, I'll leave that in the trophy room. But yeah, I'm buying a garage because I have to have one.
Right. So you arrange the garages with Zamek, and eventually you make your way over to the library to meet with Dante. The night passes with some rest for everyone, and as the morning goes on, you all convene at the Eastwood Municipal Library to discuss. This morning, though, James Green, you approach a square brick building in the middle of the block, short stone steps leading up to the door. Out on the sidewalk, you can see some underground water damage has seeped up to the surface and started to form cracks on the sidewalk. This is the library you read about in the flyer, where the Curious Investigators Club would meet, and would be the place to ask some questions of your own. You walk in. Go ahead and describe yourself.
I'm a deer. I'm basically in my early to mid 20s. I'm a recent college graduate. I best dress somewhat casually. Looking fine.
Oh, you cut off there.
What did you get?
Just I think of as you were about to describe what you were wearing.
Okay, let's try this. I just wearing a catch. I just wearing my handy outfit.
So trench coat with a magnifying glass in the middle of it, maybe a fingerprint kit somewhere in one of the pockets.
And a camera with an infrared filter.
I wonder, is that even around in the 1920s? You might just have a camera though.
It is
Just
around.
in a case.
That's part of my gear. That's part of my starter gear.
Oh, it
yeah,
is. Okay.
It definitely is period. We have a photography nut who contributed to the original book.
Yes, our good old photography nut. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it
Well,
has to be specially
there you go.
developed.
Yeah,
If it's there, perfect. You wonderful. You come in with your camera
yeah,
case.
and fast cited and a few books on science. I entered.
Oh, gotta keep the button down.
I said I in. Can I enter the building?
Okay. So, you walk in, and of course, you see these three goofballs hanging out the front desk with what looks to be the librarian, a very cheerful-looking horse.
I wait for my turn and go to the horse.
She turns to you as it looks like she was having a short, brief little pleasant introduction to everyone else, and says, "Oh, hello there. Good morning. Welcome to the Eastwood Municipal Library. How can I help you, sir? I'll have to take this, everyone."
Hi, I'm James Greed. I'm here. I'm here about the. I'm here about the paranormal investigation group. Do you know where that?
Oh, we have another one. My name's Emmett, and this would be our club right here. Just about all of it, I think.
What do I
Uh,
see?
yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves to each other. What does he see?
Well, I'm Claudia Greathouse. You probably read about me in Society. I'm an up-and-coming fox who is already at the age where people are discussing why I haven't become engaged yet.
I am quite literally famous. I don't think I need any introduction.
Oh,
You
I
may have
recognize.
seen his. Yeah, you may have seen his poster around town. Dante the Original, with his assistant
Oh,
Samek.
oh, I have seen you two. Oh, I love. I saw a show of yours once. Great fan of your work.
Just last week, even. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Green. Yes, that's right. Uh, I was just collecting some extra copies here, and she'll hand out a small little packet that she's written down with additional little bits of information. These are just a few of the ones that I've copied down that seem to have happened in the area you were interested in. You asked about them yesterday, and I spent all night making sure I could collect all of these into one place. Oh no, silence.
Oh, yeah, air was pregnant with silence. What?
Well, I don't know who's being talked to.
Yeah, I just look at this busy persons. Not what I expected, but
Oh, well, you two seem to think that it was very important, didn't you? I'm personally trying to remember which one of you came in, but I know one of you came in and asked.
About mysterious places?
That would
Missing
be
person?
me.
Oh,
I think
wait,
that would
I
be
know
me.
about.
Ah, yes, that was you yesterday, wasn't it, Samek?
I
Yes,
want to
yes,
look
it
at this
was.
list because I also want to talk to Mr. Is Dante your first or last name?
First name, Dante. Last name,
So what's the last name?
Original.
Mr. Original?
Middle
Mr.
name, The.
Well, now, Mr. Original, I need your help to fight Mr. Wonderful.
Do not forget that we had a deal, an arrangement.
I know, but that's why I wanted to get this list of unusual places, especially because if you think that your friends uh, was kidnapped and taken somewhere, we might be able to cross-reference where they disappeared from with this list of strange places.
Sure, but if they are an outlier, then how does that help me?
Outlier of what? You mean statistically? Lots of people are kidnapped all the time. It's a sad state of affairs. If only people would pass legislation to keep children from being abducted.
I feel like Dante will sigh at this, useless bit of banter and... Yes, but if 4 out of 5 people are kidnapped by a serial kidnapper, and the person I am looking for is the outlier, 5 out of 1, whatever, then how does finding the serial kidnapper help my case?
Um, ah, well, first of all, I will admonish you for being out of period as the concept of serial killer will not appear in 1950.
I said serial kidnapper.
Oh, I apologize. Serial kidnapping's totally a thing. Well, let's hear. Well, here's hoping they're still alive then. Um, well, what I'm more than happy to help you investigate this disappearance, which I realize isn't really germane to today's discussion of weird supernatural stuff. But I suppose we have some pressing business. I couldn't think of anywhere better to meet. Mr. Original, do you have any leads on exactly where we would go?
I will interrupt for just one moment to suggest everyone will take the goal, find the young Claudia Harvey.
What happens if we find the old Claudia Harvey?
Then the mystery deepens.
Because I'm assuming that you've already reported them to the police.
Well, only the leads I can imagine right now are the small town of Willow Springs.
And also, wasn't there an association with not Mr. Wonderful, but with those dolls that were associated with Mr. Wonderful that kept exploding all over the place?
Not with Claudia, not that I'm aware of, no. Again, that's
Uh,
why I'm asking if this is not an outlier and has nothing to do with the problem I have brought forth to you.
Well, then, I'm also not a police investigator, but I would. The first thing I want to ask is why haven't you gone?
You know, what do I call you? I don't feel like you want me to address you by your first name in public.
Oh no, when I'm in public, it's Ms. Greatstone.
So I call you Miss Greystone right now?
Great. I don't know why I said stone. Great house.
Great house, yeah.
Great
if
house?
If only I'd accepted that ring when Breakstone had offered it to me. Alas, I was young and foolish, and now I only have a life of regret.
Yes.
Regret and justice.
You could have been the
Regret,
heiress.
justice, and lots of money.
Could have been the heiress to a great break fortune. Anyway, shit, now I've lost what I was about to say. I find it interesting that now, after we have gone out of our way to help you in your weird assault on a warehouse, that you would now question me about the issues that I brought back to you.
I apologize. Let me give some more focus here. I assume there's a reason that you haven't gone to the police, or that you did go to the police and couldn't help you.
Correct.
The latter. You did go to the police and they couldn't help you.
Dante will silently nod.
All right. Well, that's troubling.
I've
then we can
done a little bit of digging, Emmett says. And looking at these, so far most of them seem like cold cases. There's not any sort of follow-up report. At least not in these papers. Maybe I could go down to the police precinct and we could sort that out. I could do that for you if you want to do something else other than read reports all day.
Well, I think that'd be greatly appreciated.
James is just looking at all this confused. Like, I thought this missing persons reports. Why are we looking into these things? I thought we were all about ghosts and sightings.
These aren't normal disappearances.
We think it might be, well, Dante the original here is an extraordinary man. And so, Mr. Original, is Miss Harvey a relation of yours? Why do you have an interest in this case?
The friend of a associate who married a childhood friend of mine. It is a very tangled web.
And you see me roll my eyes when he says this.
Okay. Well, so it's personal. Well, all right. So, do you have any idea who might have Miss Harvey?
Sorry, you broke up there at the very end.
Do you have any idea who would have abducted Miss Harvey?
I feel like there would be a very pregnant pause of thought and like gazing off into the middle distance before returning the gaze back to you and saying, I do not.
Miss Harvey.
Well, let's clarify. Let's clarify. Let's say that most of these people disappeared in a forested region with no obvious explanation of where they could have gone or what could have happened to them. A place that's apparently
that Miss Harvey was last. Yeah, where was Miss Harvey last seen?
In this town that supposed that my boss here apparently has some association with, and a whole bunch of these other children, right? Because I'm assuming these other kids up above were the kids that were also lost. Yeah, Cranberry Woods.
That's the weirdest connection there. That they're all going to the place.
And so yes, we had a very interesting visit by someone who I have no idea how he knows my boss, but apparently he does. And we got roped into this whole thing.
Well, I mean, not to interrupt real quick, but the police report or whatever this paper is doesn't really say the same thing as. I mean, probably something that Zamvik's character is probably more than willing to say that Dante's isn't. That it says that Claudia was last seen in bed, and that's not what her dad said.
What did her dad say?
To be fair, at the very least, I was trying to put this out last minute to make sure that there was at least a consistent place to look for information. I'll adjust that if need be.
Well, to be fair, also to you, I can't tell if you're trying to play us at an angle, so...
That's true. So that's why I'm being open and saying, like, I'm trying to make sure I have some clear information and leads for you guys to follow. So I'll amend it to what was last said, just so I can be perfectly clear.
Well, I think her dad said she went missing in the woods, which
Yeah,
I went at length about because apparently that forest ranger said people have been playing in the woods all the time, just fine.
All right. So then the thing to say here then is his assumption is that she went to the woods, but he did not see her actually go there.
And the official report says she was missing in bed.
Yes. Father sent her to bed, and then she went missing.
But regardless, this wooded region, and I also mentioned the weird growth that we found out there as well. Don't we have the sample, Dante? Don't you still have that sample?
I don't remember if you took it or I took it. I mean, somebody took it.
No, you
It's
took
definitely
it.
in your pocket, Dante. You were the one who had it last. So, you do still have it.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So, boss, if you show him, we found this weird thing out there as well. So, just a lot of creepy weirdness things happening at this Cranberry Woods spot.
Yeah,
I think you
sure.
need to check it out.
My white gloved hand reaches into my pocket to pull out a tightly folded kerchief, and I'll slowly unfold the kerchief to expose this description necessary item.
A strange orange daffodil that is surrounded by a bit of yellow mold or fungus. And though it appears it has coagulated, it appears to have a bit of dark red blood-like chlorophyll dripping from the cutting.
I finally interject. Can I look at that?
Be my guest. I wouldn't touch it if I were you.
I do believe you are looking at it now.
What do you intend to do?
I mean, I do talk to a lot of kids, so I talk to everybody like they're a kid.
So I'd like to examine it.
All right, how would you like to examine it? What do you have that will let you examine it?
Well, we were in a library, so maybe I could get some books about botany.
So research would definitely be valid here. Mind academics definitely comes to mind.
Okay, just let me get it out.
And I could possibly assist you as well. I also have academics.
Wonderful. Emmett, of course, is excited to have a library party. So I'm going to double check to see if she has. Yeah, I'm just going to toss you a D8. She's going to rote it. She's going to assist. I can't remember if I gave her team player or
we
not.
we are in a library, aren't we? Aren't we in a repository of knowledge?
And yep, and that's why she is helping you and giving you the assistant bonus. She knows this entire library. Believe it or not, it's her job.
And what do I add for the assist?
Well, one assist for sure from Emmett, and Zamek was also going to roll to see if he also successfully assists. You could also rote it and just toss him the D8.
I could just do that. I could just rote it and toss him a D8.
Yes, because you more than certainly have 2 dice. You may
Yes,
even
then
have 3.
I have 3.
Yeah, so
What-
you can
what-
go ahead and sell that off 2 for 1, and go ahead and toss some additional.
So how do I roll more than one die? 2d8, d12.
You usually roll plus. You can also use the sheet to some degree. There we go.
Sorry, I
Two
was just
successes
showing him
mined
as an example.
academics. 3. And the
And
D12
then
didn't come up, but that is still 3 successes. You successfully ascertain that there is absolutely nothing like this in any of the books here in this library, and you are absolutely certain beyond a critical doubt that this flower is not native to the area. In fact, the way that it seems to interact with the mold here, you suspect it does not react very strongly to light at all. Whatever it is actually producing more of it while it was in Dante's pocket. And Dante, you can feel that there is, on the interior of your jacket, a very large red splotch.
Well, that's freaky.
and I go, boss. Yeah, I take that to the cleaners. If I
Wait,
were
you
you.
mean through the kerchief?
Yes.
That's unusual, but I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this. You see, I'm the debunker. I try to fight it. I try to demystify the supernatural.
Meanwhile, I'm going to the librarian. Like, you don't have any like soda water or anything, do you?
Oh, well, there's a water tap in the back. I I could get you could see if I have a glass around here.
Yeah, soda water. That totally washes out other fauna. What sort of flower blooms without sunlight? Madness.
Well, it's definitely very interesting. If nothing else, you guys have made a fantastic discovery. It's a brand new species of plant, and it has some sort of relationship with this mold.
And
That's like 3 discoveries in once.
and I'm right there with her.
Well, wait, so I'm a little confused. Where did you find this flower again, Don?
I found this flower in Cranberry Woods while we were investigating these rashes of disappearances. The 4 kids that disappeared in the top of this list, Dante personally knew, or somehow knew.
Okay, well that's
Eh,
even weirder. Well,
Right.
I doubt it's something that Mr. Wonderful is behind, but yeah, an exotic. This is obviously an exotic and imported plant. Perhaps it's a narcotic, such as an opium poppy.
Well, here's the thing. It was growing inside the hole of another tree. So this wasn't something that was like growing in a field somewhere in like organized rows. This is
Well, I'm
something I
led to
found
believe
growing.
that
I guess the only way to know would be to eat it, but I'm not sure that's a wise idea regardless of the
No,
case.
Yeah.
no,
That's got bad idea written all over that.
I'm waiving dismissal.
Yeah,
We could get a narcotics officer to look into our chemist.
Well, I mean, isn't there like a botanist specialist or someone?
Why, yes, we could go to the college and check with a botanist. I would probably recommend that over the forest. Why don't we immediately spirit ourselves away there?
All right. So
Ah,
To
let's
good
good.
old Tricoga U.
let's go to a field
my
trip.
my old alumni. I'm sure. My old ultimate.
Yeah,
Alma
Alma
mater.
Mater begins to play in the background.
Da, na, 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 na.
Let them all go to hell except for Tricoga U.
All right, so the 4 of you set out to Tricoga U then.
Yeah, because this is like 1920s. You can just walk up to random university professors. They'll give you a long-winded explanation of how it's
Of
not like
course.
anything
Did
they've
you
ever
see
seen
Indiana
before.
Jones, dude?
Well, we're also like persons of interest. So yeah, we'll see if we can make an appointment and then go.
Well, you're
I'll
rich. I'm famous. We should be able to get in no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm a former alumni.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, he knows the secret handshake and everything.
How are we getting around these days? Do any of you actually have a car? Or just your
I have a
fleet
truck, dude.
truck?
A repainted one, even.
I have a repainted. I have a repainted official Dante show truck.
I prefer
It actually
the
says
God-given bi-locomotion that I was granted to by God.
Well, I'm gonna. You can do that. I'm gonna take a cab.
Or you can take a ride in my truck.
Thank you. I will take a cab.
I'll take a cab as well.
Nonetheless, you do head down. So what do you have to actually locate and talk to one of these botanists?
Oh, that's easy.
The directory.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
he's still there.
Yeah, I think we'll go to the front office and say we'd like to make an appointment. We haven't used Discovery. So, I believe the best skill for that would, of course, be negotiation. Is anybody here an actual academic? I mean, I know we've got a debunker with us, right?
Yep.
We've got
Is that
kind of
actually
a couple of them now, I think.
Technically, I am an
anybody
academic. I'm
academics?
not an alumni of a university, but I'm fairly. I guess I'm well self-taught. But I know my way around.
Yeah,
a
we're not a
library.
bunch of. We don't sound like a bunch of crackpots off the street, so we might actually be able to make us roll. But I think, like we said, 3 out of 4 of us have credentials to get in.
You're right. And given that there's enough of you to at least present the air of sensibility and rationality, they are more than willing to send a message over to Kent Knight, who quickly returns a call to the front desk and invites you over to his office.
That was only a two cigarette break.
Together, you walk over to one of the wings of the Tricoga U and meet with Kent Knight. I don't have an official doctorate title for him, but he is in fact a doctorate, highly learned, and has a placard right on the front of his windowed office.
Wow.
He appears to be a jackal, maybe a little portly, and his spots kind of are very, very light compared to the rest of his fur. He kind of scratches his chin, looks up at you over his glass, and go, "Oh, well, come in, please." And he'll point to like 2 very comfy chairs in his office, despite there being 4 of you.
Oh, thank you for the offer to sit down, but I don't want to take up too much of your time, Dr. Knight. I'm Miss Greathouse, and this, as you probably know from the papers, is Dante the original.
I'm afraid I haven't heard of that name before.
I mean, I'm
Who
probably
are you?
mid-bow before it stops me, right?
Well,
Like you don't know about Dante the Magnificent? He's like the talk of Venice, the tour of France.
I like that the person who most often gets my name
Is
wrong
there a
is my
paper I should know
assistant.
you from?
What's more
anyway,
what's
you had
more-
business, didn't you, ma'am?
Yes. We are part of a society of interest, and we've come across this strange and unusual specimen of flora. We're hoping that you might be able to tell us what it is. It's unlike anything we've ever seen, but you're an expert in the field, and I guess we'll surrender the flower to him.
Yeah, and I say hello. Hello, Professor Green. Do you recognize?
He'll look you up and down and tilt his glasses up. Mr. Green, I think I think you were in one of the introductory biology courses, weren't you?
Yeah, we didn't meet much, but I thought you might have had it. Thought I've had.
Well, it's always nice to see another student returning to the university. Tell me, when are you going to go after that master's degree? Which field was it that you graduated in again?
Sorry, I haven't really thought. I was more of a Well, I was more general sciences. I'm hoping to debunk paranormal expertise. Paranormal
Well, if you ever need a specialization, of course, the biology department's always looking for students looking to do graduate work. Though I trust
I'd
you
be
must
on.
be having a successful career already. I wouldn't want to interrupt that.
Yeah.
But you mentioned a flower. Did someone actually pull it out?
I point to the sloth.
Oh, I thought I gave it to you. You said you wanted to
Yeah,
take it.
I think Claudia is the one that showed
No,
it
I'm not
already.
carrying it. Stained your outfit.
If I don't have it, you don't have it.
No, I said I thought James took it because James was specifically asking to have a close look at it.
That's
James,
true.
you feel around in your pocket, and it turns out you forgot it in there.
Yeah, way to go, botanist.
If you're asking us for the chain of custody, we don't have one.
Nonetheless, despite the fumbling about, the flower ends up on his desk, and he sort of peers at it curiously. Huh, very strange. Definitely looks like a daffodil, but I haven't seen them in this color. Has somebody been breeding it this way?
Tell us, you're the expert.
This was found naturally growing inside of a tree trunk.
Inside of a tree trunk. Very curious. And he'll pull out a little research book. Anyone who'd like, go ahead and give me some mind and observation. Oh wow, that is definitely everybody. You guys are very on the ball.
We're very observant.
Let's see. 2, 2, 2, 2. Wow. Everybody got 2. So you can tell he's just sort of very lightly scanning the book, but what you also notice is that there's a student hanging outside the doorway, and you can just sort of see his shadow as he appears to maybe be listening in. But nonetheless, the professor doesn't seem to notice a thing as he looks into his book and flips around. Well, very strange.
While
Don't
the
seem
professor's
to
doing
see
that,
a reference to something of this color, but it could be a different breed that's instead taken on the characteristics of such a flower. It could be a pretender.
a pretender. I would. I'll have to leave you to care of my colleagues for a I'm not feeling well, and if you'll excuse me, and I will get up and leave, as I am a woman in the 1920s, and you always use that excuse to leave.
I've got the vapors.
Oh, of course, of course. And as you get up to leave, of course, you hear the sounds of footsteps going down the hallway.
Right, so whoever that was left?
Yes, you could hear them still walking away.
Okay, so you can go back to the main crew. I'm gonna tail them.
Okay. The professor continues to speak to you three then. Well, as I was saying, it could be some kind of pretender. You see, occasionally species will start off in different branches, but then uh, evolve towards the same solution to some problem under the same pressures. I believe this could very well be such a case. So, what you might have found is a convergent evolution of a different breed of flower. Now, the only question is, what was the original genus this came from? I might have to do a little bit of research, but you wouldn't mind if I keep a hold of this, would you?
As long as you can figure out what it's made out of.
Of course, of course. I can go ahead and take this down to the lab and have one of the students take a look at it.
I just write down convergent evolution.
Oh, you don't remember that from the primer?
Oh no, I just keep keeping notes for this case.
Oh, well, how very diligent of you. You always struck me as a wonderful student. taking notes like that. Still, if you're willing to leave me your business numbers, I can go ahead and call you back whenever I finish and have a conclusion to share with you. If there's anything interesting, I'll be sure to let you know.
I give him my number.
Thank you, Mr. Green. And he'll go ahead and flip open his Rolodex and set it inside. What about the two of you? Anywhere I could reach you?
That's okay. We know where we can get in touch with him. Thank you, Doc. You've been a real good help. And I shake his hand, pump his hand, really, enthusiastic. Thanks. You've been a real help, Doc.
He seems partially in shock as you just grip it tightly and shake him around, and you can see the rest of him sort of jiggles in response, the pleasure to meet you.
You have a good afternoon. And I just walk out.
You as well. And you leave his office, and you can see him sort of staring at the flower a little bit as you leave. Claudia, you are trying to follow somebody who is trying to escape. What do you have to try to catch somebody who's trying to get away without being noticed?
I have speed and mind, as well as evasion and observation.
So you're going to try to tail him instead of catch him.
I want to shadow them. Yeah, I want to find out who they are. I mean, I haven't even seen them yet, so I just kind of want to follow them and see where they go. Standard movie type stuff.
All right. Go ahead and make the roll.
I'm very good at this.
Incredibly. Without a single noise, without a single other eye catching you as you dart underneath the window panes of numerous offices, you follow the sound of footsteps down the hallway and trace it back to a biology lab where you hear the door shut and you hear a click. But just outside the door, you can see a small list of names of students in this lab. The top of which says that the lab is run by a graduate student named Mr. East.
Mr. East. Interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and figure out which one. How did that name up there? There we go.
Well, I'm guessing that the glass is frosted, so I can't see inside the lab.
That is correct.
I will have to go outside and peer in the window because I haven't seen who this person is yet. I just know what brand of shoes they wear.
Indeed. So you're going to go around the building and try to peer through the window.
Yep.
Okay. Rolling along with 5 successes. Let's go ahead and see what species he is. I'm just going to give you some. There we go. As you peer around the window, you manage to see one of the graduate students inside. Some sort of young-looking lion, currently digging through a small number of bags.
Interesting. The problem is if I'm hanging right outside peering in the window, that would look suspicious for a long period of time.
Right. Currently, you can hang out there for a brief moment to catch a glimpse of his face.
Yeah.
You almost feel like he's staring at you, but then he turns away as if he didn't see anything.
Right. Interesting. Okay, so he's going through bags, but didn't actually get on the phone. Okay. With this information, I will go back to the ladies' room or climb in the window of the ladies' room so I can come out of the ladies' room and rejoin my party.
Okay. As you do, what are you 3 planning to do?
Waiting for Claudia.
All right, so you're sort of waiting the call for Claudia, and as you do, you hear the sounds of Footsteps. Hmm.
What-
No, you might not notice Claudia's footsteps coming from inside.
So what time of day
You
is
just
this?
see her pop back out of the bathroom.
Yeah, no, I'll be loud when Abby has come back. Says, sorry about that. But I'm feeling much better now. What did I miss?
Well, we found out that the flower is well. He's going to look into it at the lab.
I mean, I feel like... Would you like to see where this came from?
But I like.
Why,
to see
yes,
where
I would, says a voice that suddenly appears behind you.
Ah,
Behind you, of course, is that lion graduate in a very disheveled blue button shirt and very scraggly looking hair on the top of his head.
so he basically looks like a crazy scientist.
Just a little bit.
Uh,
Nicholas
uh,
East, pleasure to meet you.
when
Graduate
he,
student.
when he sneaks up on us, I'll make a big show of being surprised. Like, my faint blue
Yeah.
blood female constitution can't take such surprises.
Oh, I wonder how many people he's tried to bring back from the dead.
Do I recognize him?
I hate you.
Good question. Tell you what, roll me a d8. You do. You remember taking a number of courses with him, in fact. But he was never a very personable student. Always kind of distant, always very short, terse, and very serious.
Hello,
Didn't
Nick.
expect you to return here without paying for any classes. Suppose you finally scrounge up some more money. Well, doesn't matter.
For your information, I'm here on an investigation.
Yes, I heard. The professor just called me. He said he had a few more questions. He said he wanted to know where he found those flowers exactly. Said he forgot to ask. You were about to say you were going to go there?
No, I asked my friends if they would like to see where it came from, and then you interrupted us before they could answer me.
Good. I'll come with you.
But I haven't said I
I'm
was
sorry.
going anywhere yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And
The day is wasting away. What's wrong?
Well, I suppose you can offer some hands-on insight into the origin of this strange. Or you sure you don't have somewhere to be, like a class to teach, or what about your extracurricular activities? Don't you have a bar to attend or a sporting event?
It's all right. Learning is wasted on those undergraduates.
I'm more to oversee.
Well, and I see under my breath. At least we agree on one thing.
Yes, glad I could have such a sturdy companion. He says he leans in on you and very uncomfortably pats your shoulder.
I thank you.
Well, it will be some time before the doctor gets back to us. Also, I think investigate. I want to take Dante aside a little. Say here, okay. Do you want to go to this mysterious the place this was found? Do you think it's going to help us find your missing Harvey?
That's why I was offering to take you there. I was wondering if perhaps you might benefit from seeing such a location.
I suppose it couldn't hurt to take this fellow along. If this is involved in some sort of, then it wouldn't hurt to have another.
You're breaking up a little bit, by the way.
Oh, I said if this is some sort of strange smuggling operation, it might not hurt to eyeball, especially one that is far more knowledgeable in exotic flora than we are.
I can conceive of
It's good for you to
no
have someone
reason.
smarter than you around.
I can conceive of no reason why it would be problematic for them to come with us.
And it's only 5 of us, so we'll easily fit in a 1920s cab.
Yes, I do find it odd that you always refer to what year it is every time you describe something, though.
Alas, I wish I had a word to describe this gentleman. Nerd won't be invented for another 50 years.
Diligent academic is what you can use to describe me.
I believe
as of me.
I mean, you could just say modern. A modern car could fit 5 people.
Well, let's go to the cab. I left them running with the meter running, because I'm rich.
Of course. And where shall you head next?
Dante, tell us where we're going.
Willow Springs. I believe that is an hour and 30 minutes away.
By auto? Wow. All right.
It's sort of between 30 minutes to an hour, I think. It's not that far out there, but it's still a reasonable drive. Not anything anyone would do casually.
Give
Well,
or take the traffic.
Not anything anybody would hire a cab for, but I'll still do it anyway.
Yes.
I once again reiterate that I have a truck.
A stolen truck.
Oh, you know,
Nobody knows
Please,
that.
please keep.
actually,
Yeah,
because we're going in the middle of nowhere, and that since about an hour away, let's take the cab to the truck and then take the truck. I will actually think we might actually be worth our while to take the truck.
Remind me again which stolen truck we're taking.
The one that says the one that's painted green.
Right?
Yeah, the
Yes.
one
2 stolen trucks is my joke.
yes.
Well, so there's one truck you have that's labeled Dante, and one that isn't. One that isn't is mine.
Wait, we didn't negotiate a price.
Well, let's see. It's stolen, so it's unless you want to be rid of the.
Yeah, I love that. What are you gonna do? Call the cops?
I mean, you already got to keep the first truck. What are you complaining about?
Hey man, I'm a poor guy here. I could use how much this truck would go for on the market. I could use that kind of cash.
Do you know how
Do you
much this
actually
truck
have
would
the
go for on the market?
Yeah, do you actually have the connections to fence stolen vehicles?
Hey, listen, I'm not against giving you a finder's fee, but geez, lady,
I love
JD Rockefeller over here exploiting the masses.
What do you explain that? We all let you keep the first truck, no questions asked.
Who's this let keeps? I saved your ass.
James is just confused as all hell.
You guys are terrible.
I mean, it's not a conversation Dante would be part of. He doesn't want no association with stolen property.
I do have a brief question to ask, of course, would be if you shared any of what you did last night with Emmett.
No.
Or seen.
No, she doesn't need to know.
Okay,
doesn't
good to know.
I will point out to Claudia that being in possession of vehicles owned by criminal enterprises is hardly anything to be squabbling over. Okay, so let's just be fair about that.
The first truck's labeled Dante. What was the second truck? Was the Mr. Wonderful trucks labeled, or were they plain?
They were labeled with the brewery